What's going on, guys? I kind of want to do like a mini breakdown of John chapter 2 and why it's so important. I think, especially in today's world, where we think we have to have all of our issues fixed, and when Jesus really just says, "Come as you are," like look at Matthew, the tax collector, who was a pretty messed up person, and he said, "Come and follow me." So let's read John 2 together. We're going to break down John chapter 2, verses 1 through 11. Okay. On the third day, there was a wedding at Cana in Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. Jesus also was invited to the wedding with his disciples. So we learn off the bat that there was a wedding in Cana in Galilee. So there was a wedding, and the mother of Jesus was there, who was Mary. Okay. Now his disciples also came with him. So verse 3, when the wine ran out, the mother of Jesus said to him, "They have no wine." So back in this time period, they had a lot of wine, right? Jesus says in verse 4, and Jesus said to her, "Woman, what does this have to do with me? My hour has not yet come." So Jesus' hour has not yet come. I wouldn't have said woman like he did, but that's God. He says, my hour has not yet come. So his hour hadn't came yet to do the miracle. It hasn't came. Verse 5, his mother said to the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." You know, that's so important for us as Christians to remember is whatever Jesus tells us to do, whatever he tells us to serve us, we should probably listen to him, right? And we should probably take note of what he's telling us and also apply it to our daily life as well. Verse 6. Now there were 6 stone water jars there for the Jewish rites of purification, each of them holding 20 or 30 gallons. So they had 6 stone water jars here. So Jesus didn't need everything to do this miracle. Verse 7. Jesus said to the servants, "Fill the jars with water." And they filled them up to the brim. So look at that. He said, now fill the jars with water. Even without everything needed for the miracle, he had everything set out. He had everything prepared. He didn't need all the extra ingredients. He knew what he was doing. He didn't need the extra hoses in the back. He didn't need all that stuff. He knew what it was he was doing. We need to trust his plan and know that even if we don't have it all figured out, come to him and he will turn it into something beautiful like he does here a few verses down. All right. Verse 8. And he said to them, "Now draw some out and take it to the master of the feast." So he turns the water into wine here, and he didn't need all the extra ingredients to make the miracle happen. Verse 9. They took it, and when the master of the feast tasted the water now that became wine, and did not know where it came from, though the servants who had drawn the water knew that Jesus had did the miracle, the master of the feast called the bridegroom and said to him, "Everyone who serves the good wine first, and when people have drunk freely, then the poor wine, but you have kept the good wine till now." So you see this whole miracle here, Jesus didn't need all the ingredients. He didn't need the water. He didn't, or, the grapes. He didn't need the extra anything. He knew what it was he was doing. And one of my favorite verses in scripture is verse 5 when he says, or when Mary says, "Do whatever he tells you," to the servants. And that's a calling on us Christians. Whatever Jesus tells us to do, we don't question him. We go, why? Oh, why? Why should I do this? Why should I do that? Just listen to him. Verse 11. This was the first of his signs Jesus did at Cana in Galilee and manifested his glory, and his disciples believed in him. So many people think they know my story, they know what I went through and stuff, but at the end of the day, I was kind of like this story here where I didn't have all my stuff figured out, and I didn't have the great ingredients for God to use, and I'm just a guy who struggled, But what Jesus did is he took my brokenness that I gave him, and he turned it into something beautiful for his glory. The same way in this story, he took the water that was provided, and without the grapes, he turned it into wine. He turned it into something beautiful the same way that he turned my pain, he took my brokenness, and he turned it into something beautiful, which was, in times it still doesn't make sense to me. And, God didn't need me to fix my problems. He knew what he was doing. So I want to encourage you guys, man. If you haven't read the story in John chapter 2, read it. It's so powerful. It reflects on our own lives. You know, our issues don't need to be solved before Jesus comes into our life. Because he can do when you give it to him, he will take care of the rest. You don't need to provide extra ingredients because he knows what he's doing. So guys, I love you guys. I hope this video blesses you guys. And yeah, I got this new Bible today, so that's one of the first stories I read. So this story means a lot to me, and you know, if you guys aren't familiar with it, go read it. But I'm gonna start doing some series on here, and matter of fact, I want to do a book series. I want to do either John, because I can do John pretty easily. I want to do John, or I can do Proverbs. So if you guys in the comments, or those of you here on Snapchat who want to, you know, they want to comment and, you know, a book that they want me to read, I can do James, I can do Job, I can do any of them. It's going to take a while to prepare, but I think John I can definitely do. So let me know in the comments, and let me know here on Snap what book you guys want me to break down on my channel. So but yeah, I love you guys, and hope this video blesses you guys. See ya.